fucking run!
To us, the American dream is nothing. To us, the American dream is nothing.
They're trying to build a prison for you and me to live in. So go the wise words of Serj Tankian. But this isn't just about him making a hit song. As catchy as it may be, this shit is really going on. I don't know if y'all have heard, but a subsidiary of Halliburton, fine company, don't get us wrong, now has a contract to build prisons in the United States. Now this isn't anything unusual.
Well, it's a little unusual because they're not telling us exactly who's going to go into these prisons.
Not your everyday criminals, not your potheads.
Not your tax evaders.
And not your polygamists. These prisons are obviously for, undesirables and dissidents, like your commies.
Yeah, your anarchists.
Your atheists.
Your homosexuals.
Your black nationalists.
Green Party members.
Cobe, I don't think anyone's gonna miss the Green Party.
Yeah, maybe so. But even so, you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to think something funny's going on here. First off, the FBI has the right to wiretap all of your phone calls without a warrant. Second, the FBI has the right to look at everything you look at on the internet. Third, the May 9th resolution gives the president power to control all 5 branches of government plus business in a time of emergency that is not clearly defined. And now they're building mysterious prisons in the United States. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to connect the fucking dots.
Hell yeah!
A personal hero of mine, Dr. Jack Kevorkian, appropriately nicknamed Dr. Death,
live in effect,
was let out of prison on Friday. He is responsible for performing over 130 assisted suicides and raising awareness for the cause.
He was let out because he is terminally ill, and the authorities think that it would be more or less reasonable to let him live the remainder of his years in peace. Us here at the New Low have one suggestion for this great and admirable figure, which is that since he is let out and he is terminally ill himself, he should go on an assisted suicide spree, just getting as many consensual deaths under his belt as possible before giving the hot shot to himself. What a fitting way to end the great career of a great man.
There's no God question, just a God delusion. Just a God delusion.
Hi kids, there's a new amusement park out there, even better than Disneyland, and I bet you once we're done telling you about it, you're going to want to beg your parents to go there. It's known as a creation museum.
That's right.
It's in southern Cincinnati, and it was made with $27 million.
Wow, that's like 10 allowances.
Side by side. Can you even imagine that much money? I mean, with that much money put into this project, the dinosaurs must look super realistic next to Adam and Eve.
Anyway,
us here at the New Low, we kind of want to give you sort of the heart and soul of what this museum's all about. Now, we're working on a much more limited budget. We tithe, like good Christians do, and we're going to try to explain to you what's going on without, having all the flashy special effects.
I think we can still do a pretty good job.
I think so, too. Anyway, so enter Adam. You all know this guy. He's everybody's dad. Anyway, he's made in the image of God.
That's right. Artificial and very ineffective.
And he's happy as can be, because you know what? God told him he can stay in paradise forever. That's like...
You know how long forever is?
I know, that's like being told that you can have Oreo cookies and milk, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack for the rest of your life.
Very excited.
Very excited. So he's just dancing around in paradise, but you know what? God is one hell of a God. I mean, not only does he give Adam paradise, but he wants to give him a special helper. Enter Eve. Can you say MILF, kids?
MILF.
Mother I'd like to fuck. She's like your mommy, except your daddy would probably still love her. Anyway, so Adam and Eve are told they have free reign of paradise for the rest of their lives, and they can just, dance around, frolic, like mommy and daddy frolic Saturday nights when you're at your babysitters, and that's just, what they can do, and they're just happy as can be about it. But the thing is, God is so nice. Not only does he give Adam a helper, he gives Adam a bunch of little friends. Now enter Triceratops. This is one of Adam's, very special little friends.
Well, it's not very little, though.
Oh, no. God makes things both great and small. I mean, if you can see, one of these Triceratops' legs is almost as big as Adam himself. So he better not get too close, or else, Can you say owned, kids? Because Adam sure as hell couldn't, because he'd be crushed. But don't worry, God is so nice, he never let that happen. But let's go away from Adam and Eve for a second, and let's go over to one of God's not-so-nice helpers, and that's known as the serpent. Now, one day, Eve is over talking to the serpent, and he tricks her into doing something really, really bad. So let's try to see what this conversation would be like. Can you see that cagey bastard? I mean, what a mountebank.
Oh, he really tricked her good, didn't he?
Didn't he?
I mean, you might have not heard it or seen it, but that's because snakes don't have vocal cords.
And aren't very interested in people, but the fact still remains. Eve was tricked into doing something really bad, and that is to eat from the fruit of knowledge of good and evil. Now, enter the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, this is a very, very, very magical pomegranate tree, and it has really, really special fruit. When you eat from it, you gain knowledge of good and evil.
Here they are.
Yeah, right there. It's like knowing that taking your sister's toys and melting them in the microwave are wrong. I mean, this is what the tree is all about. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to the grocery store with Mommy and Daddy, but I sure as hell have. And I have eaten plenty of produce from there, all my vitamins and minerals, just like the doctor said. And I've never gained knowledge from any of them. Other than that, peaches and strawberries are delicious. But this is a very special tree. It gives you even more than vitamins and minerals.
That's right.
So, the snake tricks Eve into eating the fruit from the tree. So she goes up, she likes putting things in her mouth, so she decides it's a good idea, and plucks some of the pomegranates from it, and goes back to her semi-crushed husband and convinces him to eat some. Now, the problem with this is that God told them not to eat from the tree. It was the one thing they couldn't do. It's like when your parents tell you that if you throw your frisbee into neighbor McGinty's yard, you shouldn't get it because he served in the Vietnam War and might start having flashbacks when you enter his yard. It's kind of that sort of thing. Something you're not supposed to do. Big trouble.
Big trouble.
But they didn't listen because they were tricked by the snake and they eat the fruit from the tree. It's delicious, but very, very naughty. And God is really super pissed about this. He's just completely livid. You know, like when your dad comes home, after spending, Friday night out with his friends, and he, throws Mommy's casserole dish down the stairs?
He gets a little angry, and,
but
Mom gets a little clumsy.
But, he still loves both you and her. So this is what God is going to do. He's going to march all the way over to this part of the Garden of Eden and talk to them. And he's going to tell them that what they did is really wrong, and that they're not going to be allowed to play in the Garden of Eden anymore. So now, this is our final part of the story. Enter God. Oh, I guess that's why the story doesn't make sense.
It's King Cobe, don't lift the crown. The only thing connecting me to you is the ground. We're a canyon apart, are you with me now?
On Cobe's Funhouse, I will be explaining some positions of mine that are particularly unpopular. This week, I will be talking about my rejection of monogamy and acceptance of polyamory, or multiple relationships, as a superior construct. Although popular culture might have you believe that you are a whore, or you've made a lot of mistakes in your relationships, monogamy is not what most of us practice. What most of us practice is serial monogamy, meaning one monogamous relationship after another. In fact, most people have, on average, 9.5 sexual partners in their lifetime. So, multiple relationships are okay, but not at the same time. There should be no overlap. But why? Let's examine the main arguments in favor of monogamy. The first is that if you are in a loving, happy, monogamous relationship, you would not desire anyone else. As personal experience tells most of us, and as common sense would tell you, this is simply not true. You find someone who is completely, personally, and sexually devoted to their partner, and I'll show you someone who's obsessive, dependent, and prone to self-harm. Those of us, even in very good relationships, still look for other partners. Some of us flirt, some of us cheat, and some of us, yes, do fall in love with more than one person at a time. And the love for the original partner does not diminish. The second argument is that one cannot fully love two partners at one time. This, again, is a superstition. If you have 2 children, do you have to split the love between them?
Absolutely.
Can you only love one at a time?
Damn straight.
Most of us believe that you can love both of them fully. Romantic partners are no different. Now you may be saying to the screen, Cobe, your comparison is whack because romantic love is very different from family love.
Cobe, your comparison is whack because romantic love is very different from family love.
But no matter how many times I hear that, my response is still the same. In what way is it different to make family love unlimited but romantic love limited?